One of the first things that we need to be able to do in Python is use the print command. When we write the command, we don't write it with any capitals, and then we put some brackets. And inside those brackets, we will put whatever it is we want to be output, so to be shown on the screen. In this case, if I wanted some text to be shown, I would put that text in the brackets, but inside speech marks, and the speech marks show that it is a string, and the string is the data type for text. If I then wanted to output a different bit of text, I would use the same command. I would still use the brackets and the speech marks, but I would put whatever the other text was that I wanted to output. When I run this code, I would expect it to show hello world and then goodbye on the screen. So to run our code, we can press F5 or we can go up to run and run module. And as expected, it's done exactly what we've asked it to do. The next thing that we want to be able to do is to take an input so that the user can type something into our program. Our program will store it and do something with it, hopefully. So for our program to be able to hold on to or store the thing that we type in, it has to be able to keep it somewhere. And the place that it's going to keep it is a variable. So if I wanted to ask someone for their name, I'm going to create a variable. And the way that I do that is I write a suitable word that can be used to store it. So I'm going to go with name because that makes sense. A variable can't start with a number and it can't have any spaces in it. And then I'm going to put equals because we want that whatever the person types in to be stored in that variable. So that variable is going to equal something. And we're going to put it's going to equal input because that's a command that means the variable is going to equal whatever the person types in. But at the moment, we haven't told the person that's using our program what we want them to type in. So in our brackets and speech marks, like we just did, we're going to give some kind of instruction. So I'm going to go with what is your name. And just running that code on its own would ask me to enter my name, but it isn't going to do anything with that yet because I haven't told it to. So I can run it and I can go to see if it does anything. Yes, it should ask me what my name is, and I can type in my name. And when I press enter, nothing happens because I haven't told it to, but it has asked me my name and it has stored it in that variable. The next thing I want to do is use that variable. So the most simple way I can use it is use the print command and in brackets put the name of the variable. Now notice that I haven't put speech marks because if I put speech marks here and here, it's just going to print the word name. And I don't want it to do that. I want it to print the actual variable name so that whatever they've typed in, it's going to print it. So at this point, I can run my code by pressing F5 and it will ask me for my name. And when I enter it, once I press enter, I'm expecting that it will say my name back to me. There we go. Other ways that we can use that variable in an output is to join it to some text. And so we can have the print command. And let's start with the word hello. And I've put that in speech marks because that is my bit of text I want to join to the variable. I could then use a plus to join, but I'm going to use a comma. So a comma will also let us join that string of hello to our variable. So if I do a comma and then my variable name, and I put the whole thing in brackets because anything that's going to print has to be in the brackets. If I run this, it will now ask me my name again, and I'm going to put in a different name just to show that it will deal with whatever the user has put in. And you can see that here it is still telling me just the variable name because I didn't take that line of code out, but here it's now joining that variable into the text or adding it onto the text, hello. I can use that variable anywhere within a sentence. So if I wanted the name to come first, let's go up here and delete this. So if I wanted the name to go first, I could then do a comma, because a comma is going to let it join onto some text, and I could add some text in. So this time I might want to have the person's name, and then I might want to ask a question. So on this occasion, I've got the variable, I've got the comma to join, and then I've got a string, which when I run this by pressing F5, it's going to ask for a name. Again, I'm going to just type in a different one to show how it will work regardless of what's typed in. And on this occasion, it takes the name that they've typed in, and then it adds on that text. If I wanted the variable to be in the middle of a sentence, so let's delete that. So if I wanted it to say the text hello, then I want it to join in whatever name I've typed in, but then I want it to join on some other text. I'm going to just do another comma, because a comma is used to join, and then I can add on the other text. So I'm going to add on that as a quick one to put on. And when we press F5 to run our code, it will ask for a name, and it will put that name in the middle of the sentence. And that is everything you need to know about taking an input that is text of some kind and then using it in an output.